Hello everybody. Well, I must tell you, I had a pretty good disaster yesterday. Okay, let me tell you the whole story. I was arriving in Hirtshals by ferry from Iceland, and the ferry was arriving at 12:30. I had already an appointment at more or less at 1 o'clock with a mechanic 20 kilometers far away, and for an oil change, because my bike had already done 4,000 kilometers with the same oil, and I did top it up at one point, but I knew that I was pretty low on oil. Okay, so it was essential to do this oil change. And of course, yesterday it was Saturday. More on this later. So I arrived by ferry. The ferry arrives more or less, yes, at the right time. But at 1:30, we had not disembarked yet. So I was already late and I was starting to get worried. Second thing was I start the bike and I started to lose fuel, a lot of fuel. The problem was that this fuel filter was leaking, and I think it was leaking because the O-ring was not holding up. Okay, just for that. So big problem. I just could not drive to the mechanic. I still had to get off the ferry though. When I got off, I asked around, and they said the only mechanic available. Anyway, just to let you see where I am, this is my tent. Here is my bike. And anyway, so I got off the ferry. The people told me that they could not help me, and of course it's a little bit difficult. And the only mechanic around in Hirtshals was 5 kilometers away. So there was no point to wait any longer. I start to push the bike, and of course yesterday was pretty hot at the same time. So I keep pushing, keep trying to start the bike. In the meantime, I tried even an O-ring that I had unsuccessfully. After more than 4 kilometers, an angel, a German guy, his name very appropriately was Clemens, and he had pity on me, of course. And he gave me, well, not a ride. With my hand, I was holding his van, and so he gave me a pull, let's say, to the mechanic for 900 meters. We got to the mechanic. The mechanic was obviously closed. So I told him, can we put the bike in your van, and let's go to my mechanic where I have to do the oil change. So somehow we managed to put the bike inside the van without destroying anything. And yeah, we put it diagonally, and somehow we just managed to close the door. So here we go. So we went to the mechanic. We did the 20 kilometers. Yeah, it was not too far away, let's say. We got there. By then it was almost 4 o'clock, and obviously the mechanic had gone away. It was closed as well. So I tried to ring him. Nothing, no reply. So my only chance was to, by now, because all mechanics were closed, was to stay in Hitchell, or yes, around Hitchell for the night, for 2 nights, because on Monday, I could have the oil change. Obviously, everything happens during the weekend. So, by asking around, next door was another mechanic. But I think, I'm not sure exactly what kind of mechanic, but of course he was pretty, let's say, familiar with motorbikes, and he had lots of O-rings, all different types. So this guy, his name is Danish guy, he was a resource. Although his shop, let's say, was closed, he opened it for me. We tried O-rings, didn't really work. There were some problems. But he had different filters. So we somehow adapted a different one, because after all, fuel filters are all very similar. This one, in a way, in particular, is a pretty compact, let's say, whereas the other one was a little bit bigger. But the main thing was the in and outs, the sides, where the pipe, pipe coming in and the pipe going out, how they fit. That's all. So we managed to put a different fuel filter, and also we find out that he had oil, 10W50 for my bike. So we did an oil change. Okay, all good. We tried to start the bike, and the bike did not start. The battery, probably because I tried it, many times before, it was just too low. So we charged it up, and then it was fine. So it started. Initially he said that I could actually stay at his place, perhaps camping out in his backyard with my tent. Then he said, well, no, it's better. He suggests me kind of Airbnb, and so it was 30 kilometers along my way to Hamburg, which was my next destination, and which of course by then it was already 6 o'clock. So you know, I did 30 kilometers to get to this place. Yeah, I got to the place, I mean, quickly, but by then it was almost 7 o'clock. So just to let you, just to remind you, I arrived at 12:30 by ferry. I got to the B&B at 7 o'clock. I was totally knocked off. But I had a good sleep in a Danish bed, under a Danish duvet, and a great breakfast in the morning. So the disaster was over, and then today I drove to Hamburg on my way back to Italy. All the best to everybody.